Get out of here.
Double down, lug nut. Welcome to the Food Tribe, bitches. Yeah, welcome. Welcome to the Food Tribe, where men can be men. Podcast episode number 15. We're rolling in dirty with Cinch. Yeah, we got Cinch finally laid up and got the podcast done and ready to rock and roll. And we've just been unable to connect. He's been busy. I've been busy. It's all good stuff. But Cinch is one of those guys that we met, right around the tail end of COVID. And, well, you'll hear how he got introduced to us. And he's been rolling with us ever since. And we love him. It's just complete pandemonium when all of us get together, especially if boys have been drinking, and you have to keep listening to understand why. But hey, do us a favor. Sign up for our free membership at Patreon /The Food Tribe. That way you can log into our monthly, challenges that we do on Warzone, get to meet some of the guys. And it doesn't cost you anything. I mean, again, we're trying to build this community and get some more folks out there. Rebirth's coming back. For Dance is coming back. Get in the coming back. Let's go. Butch has been driving me absolutely bananas today. He's just been barking nonstop. But nevertheless, episode 15 with Cinch. You, me, the boys, hammered down. We'll see you in the zone. We'll see you on the podcast. Hey! We finally freaking made it here. I mean, after, a couple different attempts of, getting you onto the podcast, me not being in the mood, you having other responsibilities with your wife and kids, we're finally freaking here. Welcome to the Food Tribe Podcast, where
Glad to be here.
Can be men, buddy. Yeah, I'm glad you're here, dude. So
it only took you 2 years to do this.
I know, really? And everybody else is working so hard on other things right now. It's like, holy cow. Have you been to the website at all by any chance?
Once.
Okay. So
when I first,
so I gotta send it to you again because I've made some like greeting cards that are like 100% man centric. I have like Food Tribe bikinis and shirts and hoodies. Like,
oh, nice.
Oh yeah, no, you gotta definitely check it out. We got like journals and flip flops and shit. I'm having a shitload of fun with it. But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we got to freaking carve out some time together. I mean, like you and everyone else, we spend plenty of time grinding it out on Warzone over the course of the last, year plus. So, traditionally we start this stuff like you got into video games, I got into video games. How in God's name did you get into video games? I mean, when, how, where? Give me the lowdown. How you got introduced to it?
Oh man, this is a long ass time ago. I think it was the not the Super Nintendo, but the Nintendo, the one you had and then.
I mean, you had to blow into the cartridges because if you didn't,
all of them you had to do that, and then you had to like clean it with alcohol.
Yeah, like a Q-tip out.
Yeah, the original Zelda was my first.
Right. The original like Zelda, the Nintendo one where you had to open it up and put it in and then push it down. Okay, and
then the one that really got me taken off was the Nintendo 64.
Yeah,
and that Zelda.
Okay.
And then it was Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was it about? I mean, like, did someone tell you that you needed to try Zelda, or was it just by accident that you got into it?
My ADHD it's up there. So I'm hyperfixated on certain things, and when I like something, I don't want to get off of it until I'm bored of it.
100%.
Yeah.
So it was Zelda, and then you got into Nintendo 64. Now, was the Nintendo 64 like the one with the hockey games? Like, did you get into any sports games? Like stuff like that?
Madden.
Okay.
Mostly Madden.
Now, were you at school? What age do you remember sort of jumping into the Legends of Zelda and Madden world? Like,
I don't know, 10.
Oh, okay, early, good.
I was young,
yeah. And you grew up where you live right around now, South Texas?
No, I'm about an hour away from where I grew up.
Hey guys, I'm doing a podcast with Cinch. They just showed up. I text my son. You know what I mean? Like they just show up. Hi,
Get
Alicia.
Out of here.
What? I didn't even look at it yet. I know. All right. So About 2. So you're native Texan.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that. All right. So you got into, the Sega Gen, or you got into Nintendo, you got into Madden, and then what was it like? How did you gradually morph into like the war zones of the world, or how did it transition? Did you stop playing for a while?
When the first Warzone came out, I think it was right after, I want to say the original Xbox.
Yeah, like was it the Xbox 360, or was it even before that?
I think it was before that, when you had to plug the internet Ethernet cable into the damn thing. There wasn't Wi-Fi yet.
No, they didn't have that yet. You had to do the Ethernet cable. You're right.
Back when it was free, you didn't have to pay for it.
Right. So you got into Modern Warfare on the first Xbox series?
Yeah, so I didn't really get into it that much. I didn't really like it.
Right.
And then I kind of put it down, just kept playing my regular video games like Grand Theft Auto, and just basically playing the war game, but playing like the story mode of it.
So like the what is it? The campaign.
Yeah.
So,
and then I forget the name of the games that I was playing, but it was like Cold War and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I remember when they first came out, and I didn't get into it until right around Modern Warfare 2. You know what I mean? And then I got into it, and I bought a PC, and I was just like you, super HDAD guy. Like I got to win all the time, and and I never get off, and so, during COVID, when COVID came, are you playing on a PC? You're playing on a PlayStation, right?
So when COVID came, that's when I first met y'all.
Right. So when do you remember who you first played with?
You and Robert.
Was it me and Deuce?
You and Deuce.
Were we on?
You, Deuce, and I think Deadly was there.
Was Deadly there? Were you on Rebirth?
Yes.
Okay.
And Deuce was talking shit, and then he said something that I laughed about, but then I came back, and I don't even remember what I told him, and then he's like, bro, you need to come around more often. He's like, now I'm sending you a friend request. And it's because he was talking shit to me, and I said something better than it was better than his cream cheese being spread on a bagel, and,
So Deuce sort of lit you up like you would if you were at the at the cigarette table with the boys in the fucking garage.
Yeah.
Just doing what guys do. So you got I don't remember. I remember it being Rebirth, but I vaguely remember the first time that we played.
We were over there by Hog's house. That's when I got initiated to Hog's house.
Like, did we tell you to jump to Hog's house, but we never told you where it was?
No. Y'all marked it, and then I just followed behind y'all. Because y'all asked, do you have a mic? And I was like, yeah, I got a mic. And that's when the shit started.
Yeah.
Shit talking started. It was the beginning of the match is when it happened. We ended up winning that match.
Did we really?
Yeah, we won that match.
And so Deuce gave you the green light, sent you a friend request, and then what happened after that? Did you just keep coming around and having to deal?
A couple of days we played, and then he's like, man, we got this Fo0H Tribe. I was like, yeah, I saw the tag name. I don't know if I'm into it. And I don't know, like a week later, Deuce invited me, and I had changed my tag name to the Fo0H Tribe already without everybody knowing. And they're like, oh, you're running the tag. Let's go.
So you were an honorary member before we brought you aboard, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back. We're like, if he's already doing it, you're coming in.
Oh yeah,
dude. I remember. I think you were with us when this happened. I can't remember exactly, but and when I was doing Deadly's podcast, one of the things that would drive me bananas about playing with my older son, Gavin, not Aiden, is that Gavin would, go into the game with randoms, and then he would get this mindset like I have to kill everybody. So he had this preconceived notion that all the three other people in the quads were supposed to follow him wherever he went, right? And so, he would go into, grandma's house or whatever, and he would kill 2 people, and then he would get slayed, and then he would bitch, like, why in the fuck didn't you follow me, right? And I think you might have been with us, but I remember we had the same issue with Deadly. Deadly would just go off on fucking, if we were over at, what is it, grandma's house, he would take off to fucking the chemist lab and go all clearly across the map, and then he would yell at everybody. And I remember him yelling at us, and finally one night I had enough. I was like, yo, motherfucker, we're not supposed to be following your ass around, why don't you stick around with the fucking team, dude? And he went dead fucking silence. He was like, and I remember asking him about it. I was like, you got really quiet. He's like, yeah, because I didn't know. I didn't know what I was, I don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And,
you get into the game, you get into his mindset. You don't really
totally get into this
realize
mindset.
what you're doing.
Right.
You're just going off instinct for the game.
Totally. Well, I just remember one of the things that I know I enjoyed about playing with you is that you would call out everyone. You would call out people who weren't even near us.
Yeah.
There's a guy 900 meters away from us.
I don't know what this guy's doing, but he's right there.
Right, he's sniping at us, right? And so, you quickly, found your niche into our fucking madness. And so what I wanted to do was, I'm not sure if you remember this, but the other thing that we love about you, and Deuce is really good at this too, is that you use gaming as a form of, entertainment, stress relief. I'm not trying to speak for you, but I can assume that that's kind of why you play the game, is just to get away from the madness of the day. Yeah. I mean, that's what we all do. And so, every now and then enjoying a libation of the alcoholic nature is certainly within Deuce's capabilities. And, we've learned over time too, that can certainly, find its way into your activities. And then let me show you what I got here. Hold on.
It looks like he appears to be covering something up in the road. He's on the east side of the road.
Sticky Shaggy!
Why don't you go and get the Vaznip, dude?
The Vaznip? It's over there, huh?
It's in the tunnel in between the 2 buildings.
Really? I'm going to go right now. In between the 2 buildings.
It's not in that building.
This fucking guy.
You're going the wrong way.
Oh my God.
Alright, which way?
The other building. What?
We got enough for a loadout.
This building. This building? Cinch, which way?
Go up the stairs.
Go up the stairs.
Those right there. Right there to your left. No, turn around. That walkway right there is where the gun's at.
Sticky Shaggy!
Right here.
No. Go turn around. Where are you going? Not that walkway.
Which one?
This fucking guy.
In between the 2 buildings.
Behind you. Turn around. Behind you. To your right. Right there. That walkway. Go through that window and there's a gun.
Right here.
You're an idiot.
Sticky Shaggy!
You said a V.
It went up.
Huh?
I'm jumping on this V, bro.
Look where Deadly's at. Deadly knows where I'm
That's
going.
where I was just at.
Sticky Shaggy!
Jump on that car in the back. To your right. Behind you. Behind you. Behind you. Behind you. Keep turning to your right. Turn to your right. Turn to your right. Follow the
right or
shit.
left?
You're going the opposite direction. Right there. Jump on that. Jump on that. In there. Look to your left. The gun's right there.
No, not
Behind
here
you.
no more.
It's not there no more. Usually spawns there.
Sticky Shaggy!
Roger, good copy. They're happy for his...
Oh! Never mind!
Break. It just detonated by itself.
Now, what I didn't know, hold on, let me stop sharing. What I didn't know was that you had the gun in your fucking, you were using the gun the entire time?
Yeah. When you ran past me, you can see it in my hand, the gold-plated one.
Oh my God. All right, let me stop sharing. But so some of the nights when we would play together, especially with Deuce, Deadly and I are like, what the Christ is going on here? And it just made for, such epic content because the four of us getting together and, running around like the way that we do, you never know what's going to happen. It's a day by day kind of thing, right? So, getting into a match like that is just freaking priceless. And there's many more that, I've recorded that we still have as well. But like, is there any that like ring out to you that like, stand out as epic freaking fucking food tribe
All
nights?
of them.
Right? Don't they? They're all really
There's
good.
never a dull moment.
There's never a dull moment. We're always busting balls and always, trying to get a, one up on each other. That's for sure.
For one thing, we're all aggravated in some sort of way, but at the end of the day, it's still a laugh or a ha-ha.
Listen, I couldn't agree with you more. We all get aggravated at each other all the time. And
Oh, yeah.
so prior to getting introduced to Deuce, were you playing, video games during COVID as a way to just sort of, get the dust off you from from that day and using it as a way to, kind of just relieve stress, or what were you doing?
Yeah, so at that time, I was working at the boat place, and I would just come home and just play. It was the only thing to do.
That was it.
Yeah.
So I thought you were working on the oil rigs.
No, I was. I ended up going back to the oil field, and then ended up moving to Houston.
Right.
And I want to say when we first met, it was like at the end of all that, at the end of COVID, and me and my ex moving to Houston, and then
you moved to Corpus. Then you moved down to Corpus, right?
No, I was living in Corpus.
You're living in Corpus, okay.
And then I moved to Houston, and that's when I got back in the oil field, and that's when I really got into the tribe.
No, so I remember, when you were working, you would be gone for a week at a time, like from Wednesday to Wednesday. 2 weeks at a time?
Mm.
That's good money, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, and then I'll end up going back, but once she's pregnant, and then I'll end up going back.
That's right. And what did you do? Did I ever tell you that I used to work in the oil fields?
No.
So one of the cool stories is that when I, during college, when you have the summers off, a friend of ours happened to be the CFO of a small oil company in Covington, Louisiana. And so I would go work in the HR department, or one summer I went out and I worked in the oil fields of Wyoming with these freaking these roughneck guys. And let me tell you what, man, I learned real fast what not to do. I remember I got in my car and someone had turned the stereo up to like 1,000. They had turned on all my lights. They had brought down all my windows, and they just would constantly fucking bust my balls. And if you can do it in that fucking realm, you can do it freaking anywhere, man. I mean, you don't have any missing fingers, do you?
No.
Okay.
I've got all my fingers.
So when you were working in the oil field, were you the one that was on top of the derrick and moving pipe and shit?
Yeah, that was me.
And that's where you have like almost, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know the total number, but like anywhere between, 10, 20, 30, 40 different yards of pipe. So if you get your finger jammed in one of those, it's gone.
Yeah, so the most I've seen in a derrick is 234 stands.
Holy, how long is the stand?
They range from 92 foot to just shy of 96.
Holy shit. Now, how did you get into roughnecking?
I worked in a different part of the oil field as on a fracking crew. Once the drilling rig was done, the fracking crew came in, and then I didn't like it, so I went to the cementing side and that actually works on a drilling rig. But once they're running casing, then the cement crew comes in, pumps cement down the casing, cement's in the casing, and then that's what got me into the door with the drilling rig.
So the cement goes down after you drill the hole, right?
Well, once you drill the hole, you come out of the hole with all that pipe. You go back in the hole with casing pipe.
Right.
And then the cementing crew comes in and
Pours
puts a mechanism on top of the casing pipe and pumps the cement down the casing pipe. Once all the cement is in the pipe, they put like a rubber plug inside the pipe.
Right.
And then they put the cap back on and pump fresh water down the backside and push that plug down, and it pushes all that concrete through the pipe and up to the outside of the pipe.
Holy shit, that's how they do it. Okay.
Yeah, and then the whole pressure for like 5 minutes. Once everything stops and settles, it flash sets.
So is that cement specially cured for that?
It takes about 5 to 10 minutes for it to fully cure.
Holy shit! And how deep?
As long as it's moving, it won't.
It's not curing. Got it.
So as soon as it instantly stops, it'll start curing.
Wow. Okay, and so that's different. Like, have you ever been on a rig that, had what's the term? It backflows and you got too much pressure and
Took a kick?
Yeah, like a kick.
2 times.
Dude, were you on the derrick when that
happened?
happened?
No, I was down on the ground.
Oh my God, dude! No thanks. No thanks.
I have gone down the Geronimo line before.
What's the Geronimo line?
So it's our escape route. So if we were to take a kick while we're up in the board,
right?
It's like a zip line.
Get out of here!
Instead of like from this point to this point,
right?
It's like from this point to this point.
So you're going straight down. Oh
yeah.
My God!
So it's a slow descent device that it hooks to the back.
Right.
So it hooks to the front, and it's got like a zip line cable with another. So there's the thick cable, and then there's another cable that's attached to it, and then you attach to it, and then once you let go, it like slowly descends you down.
Okay, so you're not zipping down there real fast.
No,
fast.
It's seconds, but it's not like it doesn't take you a full minute to get down.
Holy shit, dude.
So think about burn time. So if there's a fire, it takes about, I don't know, an hour to 2 hours to melt that steel of the derrick. It takes me 30 seconds to 40 seconds to get down, unhook, and get away from the derrick.
Dude.
So I had to do it for a safety class. They paid me a bonus if I showed them how to do it.
I love it.
Right.
You did that for a long time, didn't you?
11, 12 years.
So did you just like get up one day and you're like, I need a job, I'm going to go work in the oil field? Or did you know someone? Or is that
I had a buddy that I lived with at the time, but I was working for a water company that put up the pivot systems, the sprinkler systems for the farmers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The big long sprinklers that they turn in a circle.
Yeah, they turn in a circle, yep.
Yeah, and he was like, I work on a cement or a cementing crew, and I was like, well, I'm gonna try fracking for a little bit, and I went to fracking. I did that for 2 years.
Now fracking is natural gas, right?
Fracking is it's the last step before they put the pump unit on it.
Okay.
So basically, fracking is they're cracking the earth.
Okay.
They're making the cracks bigger, so once they're done pumping, that oil is gonna rush in from all that pressure.
Got it.
And it just
sucks it right in like a sponge.
They'll put a pump unit on it and start pumping the oil out. So
got it.
The first fluid they get out is all the frac fluid.
Is it? So I remember when I was working in the oil fields, like we would pump 75%, sometimes 85% water, and then you'd have to separate the oil in the water. So you might get, 50, 100 barrels, but you had to separate it in order to get the different,
So the good thing about water weighs 8.3 or 8.5. So a gallon is 8.5 pounds.
Oh, okay. I thought it was 10. All right,
So
whatever.
oil is like 7.3, so it's a little lighter.
Right.
So that's why it floats.
That's why it
so
floats.
like if you took
Yeah.
cooking oil and water, the oil floats.
Yep.
So as soon as you put water down there, it's going to start pushing the oil up.
Oh, got it.
So as long as you got something heavier than the oil, it'll push it up.
But I didn't know that fracking was the first thing, and that the premise of fracking really included once the oil got to pressure, it would just fill up all those crevasses, and then
So that's why they do chemical fracking like they do, and it's not chemicals that hurts the earth. It's not environmentally, it won't harm the earth, but it's chemicals that makes that fluid as light as crude oil. So when they're pumping on it, it doesn't pump it out of the hole. It keeps it down there until they're done fracking the earth. And plus it has sand in it, so all that sand is getting pushed into all these cracks.
it's incredible.
And then the sand doesn't absorb it. It's
Right.
thick sand, so it just leaks through it.
It's incredible, man. It's incredible. It always boggled my mind. I just remember, I may have shared this before, but part of my job on the oil field was I was the vacuum guy. So the vacuum truck guy. So we had one guy who would drive around, right, and look at all the lines, right, every day in the morning and in the afternoon. He did it twice a day, and you never knew how long it was going to take for an oil leak to present itself. So he would drive around and say, okay, oil rig A45, the northwest corner of the horse's head, there's a leak. So we would all go over there. We would get the fucking backhoe, and someone would start backhoeing it out, right? And as you were backhoeing it out, the water was hot, and if the leak was big enough, it would fill up these fucking holes from the backhoe really, really, really fast. So I had to get my ass over in there with the vac truck, throw the hose into the hole, and then suck out all the water and the oil. Now, what you weren't supposed to do was to run it over back to the well and dump it back down the well. You know what I mean? Like, that was a no-no, but we did it anyway. And so I remember I was dumping this, it was like a 400-gallon tank of, spilled oil and water down an oil pipe. And I remember taking the hose off, and I remember looking down the pipe like, what the fuck is that? And it had gone all the way down and came all the way back up and blew me full of freaking crude oil.
Oh, man.
And, we got an oil spill on, rig number 85, and the whole freaking, all the boys just came together and they just fucking tore me a new one. I had crude oil on my face. It was just brutal, absolutely brutal. But, I just remember those times, and anyway, I respect the fact that you did that and you're willing to get back into it, because it's a great job, but it's a grinder, dude.
Oh, yeah, it'll take a toll on you pretty quick.
And you did that same job up on the derrick for 11 years, or is it different jobs?
About 10 years. There.
Oh, wow. Dude. 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever go offshore?
No. Wanted to, but it's hard to get out there. You got to know people. I know some people that have robbed some people.
Right. Is it really that hard? I would figure that they would want people lined up for that left and right.
It's not that. It's just you're gone longer.
Oh, how
you got
long?
Somebody that's used. Yeah, so you got somebody that's used to the 2 week on, 2 week off, not 4 weeks on, 2 weeks off. That's what they do.
How is the pay different?
Yeah. So I was at 32. Offshore would be about 52 an hour.
Wow. I've never been on one of those things, but I would imagine they're pretty incredible. All right, so I remember you sent me a picture. I think it was like, I don't know, it was well over 6 months ago. You had just gotten married. Like, where'd you meet your wife? How did you get introduced to her?
We met on a dating site, and we didn't really talk. I just sent her a message saying, "Hey, let's go on a date." And that's when we first started talking. Was at the bar.
Did you meet her on like roughneckers.com?
Yeah, something like that.
And so, you just guys went out on a date and that was it. I mean, that's this quick story. I mean, you just knew right then and there, did she? That's freaking awesome.
Pretty much.
That's freaking awesome, dude. And the picture of your wedding, you're decked up in the Texas gear.
Oh yeah.
That was strong, bro. It was freaking strong. Big ass fucking hat, cowboy boots, strong, really strong. Now, was she married before you or no?
Yeah, she's been married once before me.
Were you married before or no?
No.
Got it. So this is your first rodeo.
Yeah.
Totally get it. Totally get it. Well, what else about the video games and what else about, the Fo0H Tribe do you think, is worth sharing that could hopefully humiliate somebody and make them feel uncomfortable?
Well, being in the Fo0H Tribe, it's better than not having nobody to play with. Solos is boring.
Solo sucks, right?
Yeah. Then you get used to playing with a group of people. You know how each other play. And you know this. If you play with randoms, it sucks.
It really does.
They want to go all over the place. You like playing in a group. You know you have somebody there if you fall short.
Yeah.
Pick up the place. Like how we all are with Deadly, and Deadly is with us. Sometimes. Deadly,
right? Yeah, like, you either love or hate the guy. There's no in between.
And then I fell in love with it. I haven't played anything else ever since.
Well, what's crazy is that last night when we were playing, Spit joined us, right? And we had lost contact with him for a little while, but it is incredible when you have someone like Spit who understands what you do, what I do, what Deadly does, that just can mesh right into what we did. And that win last night was fucking strong.
Oh yeah.
That was really strong. I mean, that shit keeps me coming back. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And like Sully and I, we just won a duo.
Did you? How many kills did you guys get?
8.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, I hopped on with Deadly today, because I was convinced that playing during the day, the games aren't as challenging as they would be when, we play later at night.
Yeah.
Boy, was I wrong. We didn't
I was
win.
playing with y'all.
Yeah, well, no, you were playing, but we had asked you to hang on. But
on the duos.
On the duos, because we were trying to, get the monthly challenge. And that's another thing to point out here too, is, you can join to be a free member on Patreon, and then you can get access to our monthly challenges. And so, you signed up for the Patreon where you get updates and stuff. Did Sully tell you what happened to him?
No.
All right. So, Sully works, he's a siding guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when it rains, he doesn't work. So, he goes home and he plays Warzone because his wife's not there, his kids aren't there. And so he meets randoms. So he called me one day. He's like, "Hey man, what can I do if I meet somebody who is not a, member of the tribe and, we beat the duos challenge?" I was like, "Sully, great question. Like, just get the guy to sign up, on the Patreon account. And once he signs up, not before, but once he signs up, then your score will count." He's like, "Got it." So he called me a week later and he's like, "Hey man, I got this guy. He's going to sign up and we just got 11 kills. And I was like, "All right, cool. Send me the video." So he sends me the video and I go, "Let me look him up on Patreon." And I go, "He's not signed up yet." He's like, "Are you trying to tell me that you're going to fucking not honor the score based on a technicality?" And I was like, "Hold on, Sully. Like, relax, pal. Let me post this, let me reread the rules to you that you helped me put together on, right?"
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he went silent. Like he had put me on mute. You could tell that he was like, his wife was in the car. He's like, "This motherfucker isn't going to give me this fucking win," right? So I read him the rules, and the rules were you got to have the guy sign up before the score can count. He's like, "Fucking hog, you're a dick," he got all fucking mad. And so, he did get the guy to sign up, but I don't think he's had a chance to play with him since. But, that could be another reason for other like-minded, alpha males who want to, have some good times with some boys to consider joining. But, what else? Anything else worth sharing? Anything else worth conveying that you think is relevant, or are we good?
No, we're good. Let's go kick some ass.
All right, let's go get some gas. So before you go, what's the one thing that we got to say before we get out of here?
Get the fuck
out of here. All right, I'll see you in the zone, buddy.
Later, bud.
Bye. Bang! And there it is. Episode 15 in the books. We're putting it up on the shelf. We're going on to episode 16. We got a few more guys lined up for next week and the week after. But yeah, there you have it. There's Cinch, one of the boys. You know, hard-working blue-collar guy, playing video games, hanging out with the boys, getting stuff done, and, you know, taking it from there is really what we're getting at here at the end of the day. If you haven't signed up for our Patreon account, please do. It's for free. You become a member, get access to our monthly challenges on Warzone. We got Rebirth coming back, like I mentioned before in the intro. We got good stuff happening. We got For Dance coming back. I mean, guys, it's been 3 years. I mean, maybe 2 years. I don't know, but it's been a long time, and I missed that map. So I'm ready to get back in there and make stuff happen. You can also check us out at Fo0HTribe.com, on TikTok, along with YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. You know, leave a comment. You know, share if you like it. Share if you don't. I don't care. I mean, we want to get the word out, and we need your help doing it. So if you could do us that favor, that would be great. And in the meantime, do yourself a favor. Do me a favor. Be friends and good to your animals, like I am with Butch. Right, Butch? And we'll see you on the next one. Get the fuck out of here. Hey!